Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. And I mean that. I mean it. I mean it. I hope you're doing well. So, I think what you guys should do today, I think, is leave a comment of one thing that's going really well, but make it something great that's really well. All right? Don't be like, my chemotherapy is going great, or, I picked the greatest headstone for my dad. No, no, no. No, that's not the assignment. Just say something that's going really, really well so that way we can all read each other and how well everything's going. All right, you got the assignment. Make everybody feel good. All right, well, you know what? If that doesn't work, these clips will. These clips will. I mean, we do have a dad that's in a hard place. Let me tell you, he's in a hard, hard, hard place. And I'm on his side 100%. Okay, maybe he didn't, go about it the right way. But I don't think I would go about it the right way. I even had to cut some of it out because it was inappropriate for my channel. But we'll get to that. We're not going there yet. We have to ease into that. It's not very, very sad. It's sad. It's not very, very sad. We'll do one quick clip before we get to Dad. And all she wants to know is, are you going to hire a lawyer? Do you want a public defender? You're gonna represent yourself. Do you want a lawyer? She wants to know if they want a lawyer. That's it. It's all she wants to know. Let's see how that goes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Montoya. All right, Ms. Montoya is present in person at the podium. Ms. Montoya, you are scheduled for disposition today. You were last before the court on March 25th. You did apply for the public defender and your application was denied. So today, are you going to ask for additional time to hire a private attorney? Or do you want to speak with the district attorney to see if they have an offer to resolve your case?
Um, well, the only thing is that, I continue to, struggle financially at this point, missing the few days that I was, in custody, that put me behind because I didn't get paid for that. And now, the vehicle that I just financed, 2 years ago, I owe 22,000 on that and the engine blew on it. So at this time, I just don't think that, I think that, I have other priorities that have come up that I'm not going to be able to obtain an attorney because it's not cheap. But also it just depends on what they're looking to offer because in this whole circumstance, I know the courts don't want to try to consider anything that has happened that worked up to this, but I was in a very abusive relationship and marriage for 23 years. And I think at this point, it's just best that we continue to have a permanent no contact order. That's the only thing that's going to keep the peace and be able to help me and my daughters rebuild our life and move forward, and that our time and our finances could be better utilized. And I'm also not sure about being able to keep my home. So if this DV goes against me, that is going to affect our housing and that's just going to continue to put us in a worse position. And I don't want my daughters to get the idea that I finally got the courage, to try to build a better life, and we're going to continue to be penalized for this. I do take in accountability more so that it's not fair to the public that, this was done, out in public. It shouldn't have happened at all. It did happen because my daughter was being harassed by her father. He continues to verbally abuse them now that he can't do it to me, and it's not fair to them. And it's at,
Or what are you asking for?
so
speak
I
with
mean,
the-
like I said, it depends if what they're gonna offer, if it's a.
I don't know what they're going to offer, so I'm going to give you some time to speak with them.
Okay,
so you can
that's fine.
determine what they're going to offer.
That's fine.
All right, Ms. Montoya, have a seat and we'll have you speak with the district attorney.
Thank you.
Whew. What did she say? The judge should have said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again? Oh my goodness. Hiya, all the new people who popped in chat. I see ya. I see ya all. I see ya. I want to type hi to everybody individually, but then I don't get to play court clips. All right. Now we're gonna go to the dad that's in a hard place. You know, he's in a hard place. He really is.
Is it a viewer or just a $1,000 bond? It's the same bond. Hello?
Good morning, sir. Did you watch the video or read a piece of paper advising you of your rights?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions regarding your rights?
Yeah, no questions.
I'm sorry?
No questions.
Okay.
I have no questions.
Are you or have you ever been a member of the U.S. military?
No.
Okay. Would you like the assistance of the public defender's office today for the purposes of bond?
Yes.
Okay. The court did review the affidavit in support of warrantless arrest and did find probable cause. Start with the people. If you can make a VRA record as well.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people have no input from any of the listed victims or the representatives in this matter. As to bond, the people are asking that bond be set in the amount of $5,000 cash surety with pretrial services monitoring. The allegations are concerning to the people for community safety. This is alleged that the defendant threatened a combination of adults and juveniles with a metal bat in public, I believe at a bus stop, if I recall. Well, the defendant doesn't have any recent history. He does have a substantial amount of prior felony convictions. In 2013, out of Larimer County, 12 CR 1193 for Class 5 felony of forgery. 2013, out of here in Weld County, 12 CR 1066, Class 5 felony attempted theft, $1,000 to $20,000. 2008, Adams County 08351, Class 4 felony controlled substance distribution of a Schedule 3 controlled substance. 2002, Arapahoe 01 CR 2317, Class 4 felony controlled substance possession Schedule 2. And then out of Denver County, 95 CR 2414 for Class 4 felony possession or sale of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, and 93 CR 3151 Class 5 felony possession of 8 or more ounces of marijuana or concentrate, both of those in 1996. As to protection orders, the people are just asking for standard Title 18. But given the nature of the allegations, the community safety concerns, defendant's substantial felony history, I believe a $5,000 cash surety bond is appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. From the defense.
Yes, Your Honor. We'd be asking the court to issue a personal recognizance bond in this case, or if not, a cash surety bond more individually tailored to Mr. Minor's resources. The first thing I will note is that all of the criminal history, obviously, that the people represented is between 10 and over 20 years old. There's been nothing more recent than 10 years ago. Mr. Minor lives in Greeley. He has his own house that he rents for. He has a fiance here in Greeley. They're building their lives here. Most of his family is in Denver. He's got a good relationship with them and they support him, but he's got his life here in Greeley. He works 2 jobs here at Buffalo Wild Wings and Michael's. He is the sole supporter of his fiance and his stepdaughter. If he remains in custody, he'll lose both those jobs and the whole family will lose all their financial resources. Mr. Minor has reported to me that he's been recently diagnosed with dementia and anxiety. He goes to mental health courses regularly to manage his anxiety and dementia. And I think the last thing I'll note as far as protection orders, Mr. Minor has reported to me that he does not know or have a relationship to either of these alleged victims. Obviously, he maintains the right to fight these cases and isn't admitting to anything. But the report indicates that one of the alleged victims says she recognized him. Obviously, this hasn't been subject to ID or anything like that. But she says she recognized him from her work in employment services. It doesn't sound like he works with her, but I'd just like to make sure that he's not in violation of his protection order for going to work at his jobs or anything like that if there's some way she's connected to them. It doesn't sound like it, but I want to be overly cautious here. With that in mind, Your Honor, we'd ask the court impose a personal recognizance bond. There does not appear to be any allegations of substance use or anything like that, such that pretrial service monitoring is necessary. If the court is not inclined to impose a personal recognizance bond, we'd ask the court not to impose anything in excess of $100 cash or $1,000 cash or surety bond. Anything more would amount to a no bond hold.
Thank you. In reviewing the bail report, the court does note an extensive criminal history, but it's all older, much older. So that's not as pressing to the court as the allegations of the affidavits. The court finds that very concerning to community safety going forward. If the allegations are true, understand that they are only allegations at this point, but the court has to take into consideration community safety going forward. So the court's going to issue a $5,000 cash or surety bond. The court's going to order that it comply with the mandatory protection order issued by the court. You cannot violate any state, federal law, or municipal ordinance. The court doesn't feel pretrial services is appropriate in this case at this time.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to say something.
Hold on.
I am the sole.
Hold on,
Sir,
Mr.
sir.
Minor, hold on one moment. Who's on WebEx right now?
I was advised by the police officer that I could come in and say my side of or how it affected me and my son.
Hold on one moment, ma'am. I need to know your name and,
My name is sorry.
go ahead.
My name is Diana Chapa.
Okay. And what would you like to let the court know?
I just want to let the court know that witnessing what happened yesterday was, it just affected me and then my peace of mind of my child and all the children that were there while this man tried to intimidate these children who were probably 12 to 5 years old. And he not only, I mean, I don't know, it was very, I lost a piece of my, like, safeness in this town, I guess.
Just reserve judgment, guys. Hold on. Just wait.
Okay. Anything else?
Your Honor,
Hold on, Mr. Minor, one moment. I'll give you an opportunity. Anything else you'd like to let the court know?
I just want them to think about how he affected not only, I mean, multiple children and myself. I'm very nervous now. I feel like I've gotten some anxiety through this situation, and this is my neighborhood, and it just, I don't know, I just feel like the court should know how upsetting it was.
Thank you. Mr. Minor, I'll give you the opportunity to speak, but before you do so, I'm just hold on one moment, Mr. Minor. You'll get an opportunity. Just please listen to me for one moment, okay? Before you speak, anything you say is recorded. It could be used against you. I always advise individuals to speak through their attorney. I've already made my decision on bond. That's not going to change. With that said, is there something you'd like to say?
yes, I don't know this lady, if her son is by the name of Elijah. That's the guy that kept picking on my daughter throughout the months that she was going to school. We have told the school about this numerous times. We came up to the school, she would go home crying that these kids, that this particular guy would call her. All right, those words right there was reason why we came up to the school in the first place. We tried to address this time and time again. This same guy will continue to pick on my daughter, and then it was Thursday that my daughter came home crying, talking about he grabbed the back of her hair. This been going on from time and time again. I don't know if this woman is related to her. I don't know who she is. I have no interest in her. I have no interest in any other kid. All it was is that it got to the point where my daughter was getting so sick, taking her to the hospital because of one or two boys will just pick on her. She don't know about it, or she does know about it, but nobody did nothing to step up and say, look, You know, keep your hands off my daughter, keep your hands off of kids. Apparently, he didn't do that.
Okay.
And she's saying that she's feeling a certain way. Well, she didn't feel a certain way when my daughter was getting picked on almost every day. And maybe
Okay.
she knows about it, and it's convenient for her to hide that fact, but this is my daughter. I would do anything for my daughter.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Minor.
for the fact that I know that it's not gonna change, but if I do not go to work today, I will lose my job up at Buffalo Wild Wings. I will lose my job tomorrow up at Michael's. I have not had any problems since I've been in Greeley. And there's certainly no problems that has to do with no kids or
Okay.
anybody. I've been a model citizen here. I've been working my jobs. I've never missed a day at work. My employees said that I'm very reliable. This right here was just out of frustration that
Mr. Minor.
Sir.
Oh, no.
I appreciate what you're saying. At this point, the bond amount is not going to change.
I
It
want
sounds
to be able
like,
to get out.
it sounds
and I'll
like
lose
this
my
is
jobs.
very complicated
What it's
and
all
there's a
about.
lot needs to be addressed, okay? Your next court date, if you're out of custody, will be May 14, 2024 at 3:30 PM in the clerk's office. If you're in custody, it'll be May 8th, 2024 at 3:30 PM in the clerk's office. You're to not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to the victim of the acts you're charged with committing. You shall refrain from contacting directly or indirectly communicating with the victim or witnesses. You're also ordered to comply with the mandatory protection order issued by the court, and you're not to violate any state, federal law, or municipal ordinance. Do you have any
So
questions,
what
sir?
about my daughter? Because this is about my daughter being.
Sir, I can't speak to that. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I don't have, we was hoping for the PR bond, but if, like I said, next time you see me up in here, I'm gonna lose everything. It's just gonna be, I'm not a threat to survive, so.
Mr. Minor, the bond's not changing. Do you have any other questions?
Then how much money do I have to put down in order to be released today?
You can work through with the bondsman, or you can pay the equivalent in cash. Anything else from the people?
Nothing from the
All
people,
I
Your
have
Honor.
is $100.
Anything else from the defense?
Yeah,
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
that's all we have is $100. And I have to take care of my family.
I understand that, sir. The decision's been made. It's not changing. Thank you.
Well, how much would it be?
500. Next, we will have Mr. Levi Dirks.
We saw him yesterday or the day before.
Morris, sir, did you watch
I
the
don't
video of the
remember.
piece of paper advising you of your rights?
All right, shh, you're done. You're done. We saw him. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Okay, I do know. I absolutely do know, legal or not legal. Those kids would have seen my baseball bat too. They just would have. They absolutely would have. I'd be sitting right where he's sitting right now if that was me. And that woman walked in here saying all that stuff, and I know she knows what was going on. I know she does, because I know he was vocal about it. Yep. Now I need to go buy a baseball bat and go to, I need to go to Colorado, I think. Is this Colorado or is this Indiana? I don't know what state this is, actually. I don't even know. It's not Michigan. I'm going to buy a baseball bat, and I'm going to drive around and find this state, and I'm going to be right behind him. All right. All right. So we're going backwards again. So the first question she was asked was, do you want a lawyer? It seems a really easy question. This next guy, were you in the military? That's an easy question. How do you mess up a question like, were you in the military? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But he does.
Court calls People versus Travis Chandler, 24 CR 739. Mr. Chandler, were you able to hear the video advisement, or were you given a written advisement form?
Yes.
And did you have any questions regarding those rights?
No.
I have reviewed an affidavit in support of warrantless arrest in the case, and I did find probable cause for arrest. It looks like the charges that you're being held on are tampering with evidence as a felony, resisting arrest, possession of drug paraphernalia, false information to a police officer, and obstruction of justice. What we're going to do is set bond in the case, issue a mandatory protection order, and then set another court date for you to come back. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, are you active duty military or a veteran of the armed forces?
Since I was in Oregon, it's hard to say for sure.
You don't know if you were in the military or not?
Yeah, I'd have to get back with you on that, but yeah.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. We can move forward. Sorry, I apologize for saying anything. I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. Apologies.
Okay, so were you in the military?
We usually helped them with their deployments. We would move like stuff on the railroad tracks and stuff like that. It was kind of when we were young before I moved here.
So I'm not asking whether you were a civilian worker for the military. I'm asking whether you were actually enlisted as a member of the military in any of the military forces.
I never made past me, so I don't know.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to find that you were not active duty military or veteran if you
That's what I was
don't
trying to
know
say.
whether you. So, do a mandatory protection order and then set another court date for you to come back. I'll order that you shall not harass, molest, intimidate, retaliate against, or tamper with any witness to or victim of the acts you're charged with committing. What's the people's position regarding bond?
No objection to a PR bond in this case. I would ask for pretrial services and monitored sobriety based on the facts.
Okay. Any objection to that, Ms. Goodman?
No objection to a PR bond. My understanding from pretrial services is that they were not recommending supervision. Ultimately, I think there may be some Title 16 issues raised in this case. So I would ask the court to consider not ordering pretrial services. However, we would of his.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out at the end there, Ms. Goodman.
Oh, I'm sorry. He also does have the support of his parents who can help him get to court and any transportation. But ultimately, we would ask the court to issue the personal recognizance bond without pretrial services supervision.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and set a personal recognizance bond in the amount of $2,000. That means that you won't have to post any money to be released from custody. I am going to order that the defendant be monitored for sobriety by pretrial services. I'll order that you report there first thing tomorrow morning, that you participate in and pay for substance use monitoring, that you not possess or consume any alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substances, that you comply with the mandatory protection order, and that you not violate any state or federal law or municipal ordinance. We're going to set this for filing of felony charges. That'll be on May 16th at 3:30 in the clerk's office, and you'll need to physically appear then. All right, we'll get you that paperwork out of it.
Your Honor, next up,
I don't know for sure, but I have a suspicion, a tiny suspicion, that Title 16 might be a competency hearing. Maybe, possibly. I'm no attorney, but hi, Jacques. Okay, this next one, he's a bad guy. He's just a bad guy. And I don't know him personally, so maybe he's a great guy and had one bad day. but I doubt it. But I don't know him, so maybe, maybe.
Program. He will submit a records release. He will undergo mental health and substance abuse evaluation and any treatment that is recommended. He will not consume or possess alcoholic beverages, not use narcotics or dangerous drugs unless lawfully prescribed, not associate with anyone who uses or possesses illegal drugs, not occupy any residence or vehicle where alcohol or illegal drugs are present, not consume alcohol and operate a motor vehicle, and not to go to any establishments that serve alcohol. All conditions are special conditions. Defendant shall obtain, maintain full-time employment, either part-time, full-time, seasonal, or temporary, for wages. Defendant shall not own, possess, or transport any offensive or defensive weapons or replica or ammunition. He agrees to violate no law. He waives extradition if arrested in another state or country and agrees not to contest any effort to return him to the state of Georgia in the jurisdiction of this court. He consents and surrenders all rights to property being held by police and evidence, including firearms, handguns, rifles, firearm accessories, and ammunition, not to associate with any criminal street gang members or engage in any criminal street gang activity, and abide by a curfew as determined by the probation office. Your Honor, if all of these charges had run concurrent at the maximum sentence been imposed, his total exposure is 60 years.
Years. 60. Hi, Lacey.
Okay. Your Honor, if this case were to go to trial, the state believes the facts would show that on or about June 30th of 2022, Savannah Police Department responded to Memorial Medical Center for an aggravated assault DVA that occurred here in Chatham County, Georgia. The allegation is that Mr. Hendrick had stabbed 4 of the 6 adults inside a residence where he resided with his girlfriend. The residents who were injured are the individuals that I enumerated during the plea colloquy. One of the victims slash witnesses indicated Mr. Hendricks and her granddaughter share a child together, so he had been allowed to live with them in the family home. Said they had gotten into an argument. There were apparently some threats made. That might have been from an earlier incident because they said they did not report those. He was asked to leave the house because he was not contributing towards the household upkeep as far as bills and financials and that sort of thing. He essentially apparently refused to leave, ripped Estovina's shirt and punched her twice in the stomach and the head. At some point, she realized she actually had been stabbed. Then Johnny attempted to intervene. He was stabbed. Then Ms. Gomez indicated that she tried to intervene so the defendant wouldn't kill Johnny. And the defendant swung the knife and cut her. may cover it, Judge. There was an argument between him and the girlfriend he was living with in the house. He was asked to leave. His response to that was to attack the other individuals that were present, and ultimately they received stab wounds or knife cuts. Is that your understanding of the negotiated agreement and the facts, Mr. Carnes?
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm going to ask Mr. Roy, Mr. Mobley, and Mr. Carnes to approach.
Check in with them again, and then I'll call them up.
Judge, may we take a seat?
Yes, you may take a seat at council's table. Mr. Mobley, I understand that there was a plea offer that had been extended before you stepped into the case at this time that had been discussed. And I understand the victim advocate had spoken with the victims in this case. Given that they are here, I would like to hear from them before we proceed further. And if we can begin with that.
Thank you, Judge. I would call Mr. Johnny Tapia first. Am I pronouncing that correctly, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Just go up here and meet the deputy.
Stand right here and raise your right hand for me, please.
You do solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give the court on the issue pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Step this way.
And sir, if you could, please state your name and spell it for the court reporter, first name, last name.
Johnny Tapia, JHONNY TAPIA.
Okay, and you're familiar with a Mr. Roger Hendricks?
Yes.
How do you know Mr. Hendricks?
He was my niece's boyfriend and father of the daughter.
And you are one of the named victims in this case. You were injured on the state. Could you please, what the purpose we're here for today is for you to tell the judge your thoughts on how this case has impacted you. And then if you would just take the opportunity this time, just let the judge know what your feelings are on this case. Then we'll let you do that.
Well, this case has actually impacted all of us real hard.
Can you do me one favor, sir? Could you pull that microphone and make sure? Okay, I know you want to look at the judge, and that's natural, but the microphone needs to pick you up.
We don't have the best sound system. So, Tom, if you would just make sure your voice goes over the microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. That whole day, June 30th, was a big headache and a disaster. The fact that we all went through that because of somebody with insecurity, always, no matter what. But we always brushed it off. But that day, or the day before, actually, the 29th, he had a situation where it just all led to all this. And the fact that he was mad for who knows what reasons, they were always not even right. Just for going to the store and coming back, they always got something wrong. Then, for him to tell my niece, if anybody tells us, because he wanted to call my mom a hypocrite, and I was wondering why he was trying to say that word. But when the whole thing escalated, because he had to go, because he was making threatening accusations, like if anybody says anything, I'm kill him. All right, so since he got addressed about that he had to go because we're not gonna have this no more, that's when it all escalated.
And this was at the house?
Exactly, so that day.
And you lived at the house as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That day I got off of work, went home. My sister picked me up from Bluffton, South Carolina. We came home. After like 6 something, my sister dressed to go tell him that he had to go because I told my mom and my sister that why was he trying to ask him how to say hypocrite in Spanish? So when they asked her, she told them why. So that's when we decided that he had to go. From there, that's where it escalated that he, in other words, if you're gonna take me out, it's gonna be forced. So that's when we went with, I waited a little bit, my sister was talking, then I go outside, and he did all that, stabbed my sister, my mom's boyfriend tried to intervene, he got stabbed in the abdomen on the tip with whatever knife he had next to his lip. Then my mom got in it, and he cut her here on this part of her hand. And
you're indicating the blade side of her right hand.
Where she got.
Yeah. Cut. And so did you get?
Yeah, when I went in to go, because I saw my mom come out, And I see him in the kitchen, like going all crazy, like knowing what to do. Then as I proceeded towards him, I didn't even feel when I got stabbed on top right here on my shoulder, on the left.
On the left shoulder?
And then the back right here, where my tattoo is. And then in the back, like another one.
And you're indicating the back of your left arm.
Yes, ma'am. And then as I was still waiting, he said things to me that, oh, I'm gonna take you like they're gonna take me away from mine. And then we went to the back, and that's where the knife went through my hand. Here.
Your left hand?
Yes, ma'am.
The knife went through his hand. Went right through his hand. The knife went through his hand.
So that was not a good day for any of us there. And the way it's impacted is just, it's really hard to hold feelings.
Do you wish to tell the court about the impact, a little bit about that?
Well, it's actually and it's not right. It's just, he's tormented us. My mom doesn't feel safe anymore. My sister doesn't. You know, it's hard. And to put everybody into that over insecurity and dumb things, somebody that just didn't care. And the fact that he always told my mom's boyfriend, oh, leave me alone, I'm always mad, or I'm gonna hurt people. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, you weren't trying for yourself or anything. Or just because you felt we were all leaving you behind or something, we didn't really care what you had going on. Your decisions were just bad.
Mr. Tapia?
Are you finished, Judge? I'm sorry.
If Mr. Tapia is finished?
Well, just to make sure we're clear, so we cover this part of it as well. You've been told what the plea offer was going to be in this case. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we don't like it because the fact that we've actually been kept in the dark on all these almost 2 years of this case.
But the victim advocate's been in touch.
Yeah,
correct?
but they
we
haven't
knew
told-
about the victim's compensation fund.
Yeah, we got that.
About.
Yeah, but the only thing that we were kept in the dark about, like numbers on for him to sentencing, what he's going to be, how long he's going to be, and when we learned 8 years, that's too low. For somebody to say they're going to come back if they can get out, yeah.
And I just want to make sure that the judge hears you on that. So, that's all I have, Judge.
All right, Mr. Tapia, you may step in. Mr. Lockley, you may call the next witness.
Thank you, Judge. We call Escovina Tapia.
Step right here and raise your right hand for me, please.
You do solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give the court on the issue pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Amen. Yes. Thank you.
Step this way.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am.
Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
That's totally understandable. Take your time. But I would ask you at first if you would please state your name and spell it for the court reporter.
My name is Estelvina Tapia, and it's Estelvina
And you know Mr. Roger Hendricks?
Yes.
How do you know Mr. Hendricks?
Well, he was dating my daughter, and I let him stay in my house ever since they started dating. I mean, I opened the doors to him, and he was just like another, to me, he was like a son, because I was letting him stay with my daughter, and to me, he was making her happy. But I didn't know that he was being hard on her, and he manipulated her every moment that he could.
Okay, well, let's talk about the impact. This is Mr. Johnny Tapia just talked about. Will you please tell the judge how the circumstances and the events of this case, how all that has affected your life?
A lot, because I've never had been through that in my life. So, to me, it was scary. I mean, he had my daughter scared all the time, so I'm not that type of person to be scared because he's just another human being to me. But I would never thought that he would have things in his head like that. that would try to kill somebody that helped you. But that day to me was, I don't know, I was just mad because he was doing that to my daughter and being mean to her, you know? And she was scared. She told me, Mommy, don't tell him nothing, please call the cops. And I told her, no, why? You know, just let him go peacefully. He can go home. We don't have to do none of this. And I talked to him and I told him, you know, I helped you many years. I had opened the door of my house. I told you, work, do something for my daughter or my granddaughter. She didn't want to. So that day, I was speaking to him and we were in the room, me and him. And I told him, he said, oh, everybody hates me or whatever. I don't know why he thoughts were like that. But I told him, well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to call the cops on you. I'm just going to let you go. Go home. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't want you in my house anymore. It's enough. And I guess he chose to do whatever he chose to do. So he was coming behind me after I closed the door and my granddaughter screamed. And he just came at me. He hit me and then he stabbed me and we were going at it. So he was trying to cut my throat. And my stepfather, which is my mother's boyfriend, jumped in and he stabbed him in the back, but he kept trying to get to me. And then my mom came in and she tried to help us. And then she went outside to call my brother because she couldn't stop them either, or my mother's boyfriend either. So my brother came in and they started going at it and we went outside to the back to continue. We were trying to stop him from stabbing my mom, my brother more and more. My daughter jumped in on him and then he tried to kill himself and saying all this stuff. And I don't know, I just haven't been okay since then because I see him everywhere in my dreams. In my mind, I see somebody and then I think it's him. And since in this case, nobody had said nothing more, and now I'm making decisions here without even asking us nothing. And it seems like that all that matters here is money and not the part of the human. So I'm not happy at all. I mean, I believe in God, you know, but I mean, God is going to do whatever he has to do with him. Yeah. I don't know. So, I mean, I'm worried because if he comes out, I don't know if his mind is going to continue to be the same way it is, you know? So, because he already had problems. He already had cases and he was running from me. So I don't know what makes you guys think that he's going to complete the rest of it. But I leave it to God.
I don't have anything further, Judge. Thank you, ma'am. No other victim impact statements, Judge.
Let me ask Ms. Copier. You've heard the recommendation is 20, serve 8.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that either because, I mean, they're including already the time he already served in here, and I don't think that's fair either.
What do you think is fair?
Well, I think he should start from the beginning when he started from our case. That time he already been serving, I don't think that should count because he's serving time for other things that he already had on his back. Those are cases, old cases that had nothing to do with us. And I'm not happy with that.
Thank you. Mr. Mobley, any questions from Ms. Tapia? Hold on, Ms. Tapia.
No, ma'am, no, Judge, nothing further.
Mr. Carter, I'll give you an opportunity. Any questions from Ms. Tapia?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, you may step down.
Get ready for it, guys.
Nothing further for victim impact statements, Judge.
Okay, those are the two last of the statements.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Given the victim's statements, I am going to reject the plea offer.
Damn right.
Understood, Judge.
We can reconvene on another day and have an open-ended plea, or of course, he'll always have his opportunity to proceed to trial if he chooses to. So at this point, Mr. Hendricks, the court declines to accept your plea.
Judge, we have set for a time to call.
Yes. Ms. Davis?
Yes, ma'am. That's gonna be August the 9th at 9:30.
August 9th, 9:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we put it on this Friday? If there's enough room, I'm not positive there's enough room.
That document's overflowing, so.
Okay.
I prefer to set it out. We're gonna set it to August 9th at 9:30. If we end up having an earlier time period, then we'll contact you, Coach. But at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's August 9th, 9:30.
20 to serve 8 was the plea. The plea was he would get 20 years to serve 8. The maximum was 60 years. He was facing 60 years. And they pleaded down to 20 to serve 8 years. He stabbed everybody in the house except for 2 people. He stabbed every adult in the house that night. One guy, I don't know if you saw this part or not, guys, but one guy got stabbed straight through the hand, the whole way through his hand. Ugh. So she rejected his plea, and I love her for that. I just love her for that. Okay. One more video before we get to Fleischer. And it gets best at the end. It's okay. What I'm thinking is this might be Mrs. Reagan. Mrs. Philip Reagan. This one thing was well over an hour long. So all I got was the lawyer, the defense lawyer, rebutting. So she went first, and then the prosecutor went, and then she rebutted what the prosecutor said. So I got her rebutting, then the judge's judgment, and then the guy talks. All right? This lawyer is Phil Reagan. She is a female Phil Reagan. And she was good, and she was passionate. And, you know, she made me think of just butterflies and kittens about this guy the whole time. And then the prosecutor spoke, and then I found out what he did. So this guy, he likes this girl. He likes this girl so much that he's had contempt of court for breaking his protection from abuse order like 8 times so far. And then he has other convictions where he stole this girl's checks and wrote, signed her name and stole all of her money. Okay, Carolyn. Phil Reagan is the defense attorney in a bunch of courtrooms, but often in Judge McConaughey's courtroom. So Steve Vincent is for the state. Phil Reagan is the defense attorney, and he's really good. But we hate him because he's so good, and he's defending these horrible people. The people in McConaughey's courtroom are not, domestic violence and DUI. No. They set the girls on fire and then hold them in the van so they burn. So that's what this girl is like. She is an impassioned defense attorney, and she's from Jersey. This is in Jersey. So it really reminded me of Phil Reagan the whole time. But then, so what we get to hear is part of her rebuttal, and then the judge describing just some of the things that this guy did wrong. And he did a lot wrong. He's always in jail, mostly for hurting this one girl. Steve Vincent, I love him too. I think they are a great match. Steve and Phil, they go well together. Oh no. Carolyn, I hope he's okay. Okay. So then we get to hear him talk, guys, and that's the best part. Just saying, that's the best part.
Right, Mr. Honorable.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to address 2 things. One, I wanted to respond to the issue of the phone call from the jail.
just as Mr. Moore was putting on the record and as he had asserted when this allegation came up. He was not calling her, he was calling her brother with whom he has a relationship. And the phone number that he called is not that of the victims, that of the brothers. So that the state is entitled to its position, the defense is entitled to its position, and the decision about who is believed is made by a jury. But the facts are the facts that he did not call her number. He called a different number that was associated with her brother, with whom he had an independent relationship. And in fact, I think it was a working relationship. Involved some business, some house. It was a business number. The second thing I would like to say is that none of us are there when these allegations arise. None of us are flies on the walls. We don't see what happens. We're getting one side of the story. And it's coming from a person who has been in a relationship with Mr. Moore on and off for some time now. It involves conceiving. I don't know if there's been children, but this is an intimate relationship that is of some length and involves very serious things like perhaps a family and children. It also involves a person, a plaintiff, who has applied for and dismissed several orders of protection. One of the allegations after what it was dismissed that she made when she issued a new one, because there was question about why are you seeking this again? At the when she came to seek it the second time, she said, "Oh, the first time he forced me to do it." And again, the defense absolutely denies that allegation. There are two sides to every story. I would just ask Your Honor to please consider that I wasn't there, Ms. McMahon wasn't there, Your Honor wasn't there. There are two sides to every story, and this involves not strangers, but people who have been in a relationship. They obviously should not be in one any longer. But as we have seen in cases that things are not always as they seem, I very much am a proponent of believing people who allege to be victimized, especially in the context of being historically silenced by it. But with that being said, I'm also a lawyer, and I know that there's an appropriate time and place and under certain circumstances that we make those final decisions. So as a society and as organizations, when women allege that they are being abused, they need to be taken very seriously. And that needs to happen here too. But what also needs to happen is a balance between the alleged victim's safety, concerns, and allegations, and the constitutional right of the accused. What we have now is one side of a story that we have seen in other cases, that these types of cases always have another side to the story, and the truth is generally somewhere in the middle. I'll just leave you with that, Your Honor. I would ask that you release him on some conditions, whatever Your Honor feels appropriate, in light of these, in my opinion, very significant changes of circumstances. Thank you.
All right, so the motion is to reopen the detention that was ordered by Judge Scott, I believe it was, in his order filed the 31st of January. Judge Scott, as the stated noted, found that the defendant poses an ongoing risk of danger to the victim, and it appears, based upon his January 31st order, that his ruling for detention is primarily, it may be based on other things, but primarily based upon the fact that he found the defendant to be a risk to the victim. There is documentation or proof, evidence, history of that risk where the defendant has entered pleas of guilty to offenses involving the victim, who is the same victim across many of these different charges through their history. Third-degree terroristic threats in June of 2023, a simple assault against AA in September of 2023, contempt through a violation of the restraining order for the protection of AA in March of 2024. There exists now a multi-count indictment where the charges are unresolved and challenged, I'll say, through stalking, witness tampering, and 8 counts of fourth-degree contempt. One includes a call from the jail. Okay, it was to a number that was not, I guess, registered to the victim. And I don't know what the intention was. The jury will figure out what the intention of the defendant was in making that call, whether it was to connect with someone who he has a business or social relationship to, or because it was the brother of the victim, an attempt to either directly get a message to the victim or to just simply through conversation hope that the defendant got across something to the brother of the victim with a hope to get that message passed on to the victim. I don't know. The jury will determine what the intent of that phone call was and whether that's something that he should be convicted of. There's a long history of this, and the pending violation of probation in Camden relates to the underlying charge of the terroristic threats and involved, as I noted, the victim here, AA. But the pending VOP is based upon the fact that he's been charged now here in Gloucester County with regard to the same victim by way of contempt, in contacting the victim contrary to the sentence. Look, it's been represented to him that it will resolve by concurrent sentence. I will tell you a million times how much I find that to be contrary to a deterrence impact, and the state defense constantly in courts order it, including me, constantly in situations appropriate and inappropriate. But so be it. He's been advised that that's likely resolution. But he challenges the charges here, so there may be no resolution. Maybe he's successful if he takes the matter to trial. The matter is resolved with a DP plea in family court. Is one matter. There's another matter that's been dismissed in Camden County.
I know it's a bunch of judge legal talking right now, but don't worry, he gets better. The judge gets really better soon, and then the guy talks.
The downgrade of the identity bad checks, it's downgraded and still pending, but it involves the same victim. In fact, this victim apparently is the complaining witness. There's a pending matter in family court that was downgraded to family court, which for whatever reason hasn't been scheduled. The it's very difficult for a court, whether I sit here in criminal court or whether I would sit in family court, to assess the reasons why a person seeking protection for domestic violence restraining order seeks that protection or seeks the dismissal of the order they subsequently get. Judges of family court are regularly relying upon the notion that the protected party who returns to court to seek dismissal knows what they're doing, and they do it for a specific reason. I'm not going to sit here and debate anybody with regard to whether or not that system is abused or not, but I've sat in those hearings umpteen times where I have before me a clearly bruised and battered, stitched up victim seeking the restraining order that they sought only a few days ago to dismiss it. It can't be, we really can't second guess the reasons why they do it. So why the past may be or the history may be with regard to restraining orders is difficult to assess. What there is a history of is violations of restraining orders. There's at least one where contempt in the family court was admitted to by the defendant. But what remains, in spite of the plea, the dismissal, the remand, and the one in outer space, is the downgraded family court in Camden. But what remains after that is still the concern that the defendant, it remains a danger to the victim. And I don't see that anything that has happened and is described in that plea, dismissal, remand, and remand to family court changes the fact of Judge Scott's findings that the defendant poses a present and ongoing risk to the victim based upon the history that is demonstrated through both charged and convicted conduct and the pending conduct. And for those reasons, I'm denying the motion to reopen. I find the defendant remains a danger to the victim. The circumstances that have changed do not rise to the level of reopening and release. The danger still exists. The danger, as I again indicated, is documented by convictions and is pending based upon the 10-count indictment that the defendant faces with regard to a stalking, a witness tampering charge, and 8 contempt charges for violations of a restraining order. So the motion is denied for the reopen, and the defendant will remain detained pending trial.
Your Honor, may I speak?
I'm going to have your attorney advise you with regard to that. Anything you say is being recorded, and it can be used against you in future proceedings. Ms. Donnarumma.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bolton, you know,
don't speak about the case. I know. Now, Your Honor, in reference to
Wait a minute. No. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give the court is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
So your statements are now under oath, so you could be charged with false swearings, perjury, if you say anything that's false. Do you understand?
Understood.
Ms. Donnarumma, anything again?
Mr. Moore, I don't think that anything you say is going to change the judge's decision. I don't think you should say anything. Obviously, the right is yours. And you are a smart person. You understand the difference between talking about the case. And I don't know what information you want to give, but I don't think you should give it. It's not going to change judge's decision.
He's my actual judge for this case. That's why I wanted to speak on the record.
It's your decision.
All right, you've been advised by your attorney, sir, and I've sworn you in. Now, if there's anything you want to say, then I'll give you a few moments.
That's first in reference to what Ms. Caban said about the pleading out to the contempt. It's not me admitting guilty, it's the fact that I know I've already served the time. So even if I fought the case and went to trial and beat it, I still did the time already. I already have felonies on my background, so that misdemeanor wouldn't really heighten my felonies anyway. That's
So
why
I understand that position, sir, but what you're telling me is that in the factual basis that you gave to the judge in entering your plea, you lied.
I was advised to just plead guilty and get it over with and just pay the fines.
Keep going.
Okay, I don't buy that, but go ahead. Anything else?
Oh, yes, please say a lot more.
And I understand you're not going to release me. So in reference to this case, I spoke to you 2 weeks ago in reference to me getting my discovery on a flash drive to the jail. You said that I shouldn't have any problems getting in. I shouldn't have to pay to get it printed out. Well, the flash drive is now missing. It's gone. It was never put on my property. The jail does not have it. And I told you that looked like a violation of my due process to where I'm not even see. This is the first time they actually broke down what's in my indictment is while you're in court. I have no idea what's in my indictment. I don't know what's going on. You said to let you know that I still had issues, and I'm still having issues.
Okay. All right. So when we come back, our next court date, I'm going to meet your assigned attorney and you, and your attorney will place on the record. So that's Friday. Your assigned attorney will put on the record what's going on in your case, why the discovery is missing based upon that information, and we'll move forward. So I'm going to see you on Friday the 10th. All right.
Yes, Your Honor, he has no idea what's going on in my case, so I'm gonna ask that you terminate his employment as my counsel.
Yep, there it is.
Well, he's not employed as your counsel; he's assigned by the court as your attorney. So I will see if there's an application to be made to be relieved or to have new counsel appointed. I can consider that, but I certainly won't consider that here today. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, we need to see Mr.
Well done. Well done. Good job. Everybody told you not to do it. Your defense attorney was passionate the whole time about helping you. And you ended this whole thing by trying to fire a lawyer that you never even hired to begin with. I want them gone. Okay, then go hire your own lawyer. That's real simple. The judge has no control over that. Just go hire another lawyer. Oh, wait, you can't hire another lawyer. Well, then maybe you should listen and work with the lawyer that you have. Maybe. Judge, I want you fired too because you didn't do what I said. I think we should fire the prosecutor too because she's just mean. Let's just go back to the judge that denied the plea offer and just clap for her too because she deserves it. She did a really good job. Really good job. Yes, tomorrow, Cha. Tomorrow, Jen Hardy. Tomorrow at noon. Okay, today. I'm sorry. I haven't gone to bed yet. So today at noon. It's 6 a.m. now. So in 6 hours, I'm going to be doing an interview with Jen Hardy. And I watched her interview with Cullen, and it was great. It really was great. He's so cute, isn't he? Yep. It's just creepy how similar his answers would have been to mine if she would have asked me that same question. So she's in my Discord. And she asked if you had any questions for me, just, send them to her or just go into my Discord and put them there. Or, and I know this is really crazy, just ask me. Just ask me, I'll just tell you. But no, feel free. Send her questions. If you put the questions in Discord, then I'll just answer them, and then she won't have any questions. So DM her. Yeah, I'm going to be on screen as long as my camera works. I'm going to be on screen with a camera and praying to God that my cats don't rip down um, like the barrier I have behind me. Oh man. It'll be a blast. It's going to be a blast. And my Patreon, join my Patreon. It's free, although you can be a paid member, but it's free because I have a surprise coming this week on my Patreon. That's going to be great, and it's only going to be on my Patreon because YouTube loves me. Oh, thanks, Jim. All right. So I do have Judge Fleischer, and I'm starting him now. But I don't know what happened today. Like his video feed just freezes. Um it could be my computer, but I was asleep. So I don't think it is because it kept recording perfectly fine. It's just the video was just frozen for a while. So I got what I could today, and then what I did was I took Mondays and the clips that we didn't get to see on Monday because I ran out of time, I'm going to show them today. And I don't know why I picked Monday. I shouldn't have picked Monday. Victoria had off on Monday. So there's no way we're going to see Victoria in the Monday portion. But maybe if she sees this, she'll see how the judge did on her day off. That must be scary for her. I know when I have days off, I worry what the owners are going to do to my restaurant. And I should be worried because they're idiots, but that's okay. But today's I got enough from today. I got a bit from today, and I'm a positive we have both Melissa and Victoria together at some point, and you'll see because I'll tell you when it is, but they just start talking and we don't really know what's going on, and we don't care because we're just there to see Victoria and Melissa. So, all right, here we go. Let's go to Judge Fleischer.
Yes, sir.
Jose Bocanegra.
Yes, sir.
So you were charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews if you cannot afford a lawyer. A lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
So I'm going to hire one on Friday.
Okay, just bear with us. We need to do probable cause. Just don't say anything at this moment. Okay. What happened?
Yes, Your Honor. So the plaintiff witness hired the defendant to repair her air conditioning ducts in her home in Harris County, Texas, and paid the defendant via Zelle a total of $800 to complete the repairs. Defendant never completed the repairs. The defendant admitted to having been paid by the complainant, but never did the work. When confronted, the defendant never paid the complainant back $800.
So he was hired to do a job. Did you say construction job or air conditioning?
Clean air ducts, the air conditioning air ducts in her home. Air conditioning ducts.
And how much was the value? You said $800?
$800.
She paid him.
Correct.
He never did the work.
Correct.
Mr. Bocanegra, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well.
Yes, sir.
We're going to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go.
Yes,
Do not pick up any new cases while you're on bond. Otherwise, I will revoke this. So we'll put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Yes, sir. Your Honor. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Judge, next is.
Hi, Victoria.
Page 24, Williams, Calvin. Come on up.
Calvin Williams. Mr. Williams, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Please don't say anything.
Your Honor, on April 30th, 2024, officers dispatched to 10800 East Tech Freeway for a fail to stop, give information call for service. Defendant struck the complaining witness vehicle. The defendant exited the vehicle to check the damage. At the same time, the complainant exited her truck to inspect the damage and began taking pictures of the defendant's car. It was at that time the complainant was left standing on the roadway as the defendant got back into his vehicle and fled the scene at a high rate of speed without advising the complainant if he would pull over into a safe area. The damage complained if he would pull over into a safe area, excuse me. The damage to the complainant's vehicle, the rear driver's side tail light appeared to be approximately $300 in damage.
Okay. Mr. Williams, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing before you leave here today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if a baby needs groceries. Jesus has to go to church. You get into a car and drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months jail and a $500 fine every time you get in a car and drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then come and ask me, and then we can get you to drive. But until that point, do not drive, and I don't care what your excuse is. You drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Don't pick up any new cases. Otherwise, I will revoke this bond. I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria. Will you sign a receipt? We'll get you out of here.
The next one is on page 3, Carrillo, Fabian. Judge, were there going to be bond conditions on this one?
No, I did the, yeah, no driving affidavit, so you can just go. Mr. Carrillo, your case is 303 days old.
Oh,
You've
Judge
taken
doesn't
off
like
on
that.
me how many times? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I have here that you're going to refile it. Is that right? Perhaps he has a prior AFM? I don't know why.
So it was a DV case. It wasn't refiled. It got sent back to us. So it looks like it's just going to remain.
What was it? Does he have a prior AFM?
No, it's gonna be refiled as a continuous because there were allegations of an additional threat, additional because there were allegations of an additional threat, additional assault, but that never came to fruition, Judge. So it remains as it
Is there an offer on this case?
Let me take a look, Judge.
So let's reach out to Miss Benavides, okay? She's got a lawyer, he has a lawyer, it's 300 days old. We do something now. Take a seat from in the juror box. You are not allowed to leave, sir.
But I think she was back appointed because you were voted.
No, it's 300 days, you know, then we'll do that, then it's, you know. So I'll send her a text now. I haven't.
Okay, I'll send her an email too. That was the last arrangement.
And now the video shows, but I mean, I don't know, do we see her?
That's Melissa. That's Melissa, guys.
How do I know it's her?
She's claiming to be holding the phone. She claims to have the child. I believe.
I mean, can I hear her voice?
I don't know what's going on here. I don't care what's going on here. I should have just muted the judge because we're just here to see Melissa. And then we're going to see Victoria next, I believe. I
I guess that would be, let's see if we can hear.
Switch over to pick up.
So when he came, she did the no contact at all, and they were supposed to have like a third party.
They said what they've been doing, the only really issue is the telephone. So is that this parenthesis? This is all this is like
This is normal stuff that I cut out. This is normal stuff. Look, he's sleeping. This is normal stuff that I just cut out. This is his courtroom. Everybody's talking and he's thinking.
So was he supposed to send the child back? I'm just saying.
Hey, Shatoria, listen.
Would you like a copy?
I do, because I need to file a child.
Thank you.
Sounds like bowling. I don't know what we're listening to.
Yes.
The bottom line, do you have a copy of that order or no? But it did say that he had to use an intermediary or what? I mean, I regardless, I ordered it, right? And he comes here, shows up with nobody.
That's our Victoria working so hard.
I'll forward this to you guys.
Sure. I appreciate it, Judge.
Look, there she is.
And does he have defense now still? Because he's, I don't remember if we filed.
Did we ever get the order? I thought that was one of the issues we were supposed to do is also see what the actual order declares.
Is it Jones_Kevin?
Yes. Yes.
Eric. Hey, bud.
Just haven't seen it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not done. I'm sorry, Carl.
So we saw Victoria and we saw Melissa there, and that was awesome. And then the video freezes. And then that's it. That's all we got from Wednesday morning court session. So this is back to Monday now. And there is no Victoria on Monday because she took the day off.
What else you got?
I have a Zurich East. I was appointed on last week. East EAFC and also LaDarian Harrison.
So did East have bond violations or what?
No, you wanted him here because you wanted him to take anger management 3 times a week.
Oh, that's right. Has he done it?
Well, he just got out last Thursday.
If you want to.
He hasn't done them yet, no. You want him up?
Yeah. Where did you think you were going today? To the beach?
No, sir. I didn't
shorts.
No, sir, I didn't have no other clean clothes. This is the only clean clothes I have right now. I have to wash, so Honest truth.
Anger management have you done?
I haven't found, I found one, but I haven't done any yet because I'm having my money issues right now, Your Honor. I have asked my uncle to help me. He's able to help me today. And I have an extra interview at the detailing shop. Detailing limos, washing limos.
Judge, I gave him the link for the anger management class that only charged $10 a class, so it's cheaper for him.
Didn't even do that.
I didn't have the internet, sir. I didn't have no internet, sir. I'm not making no.
Have until the end of the week to get at least 2 done. I'm setting your case till Friday. If you have not brought me proof that you've done 2 classes, you will stay with me.
Yes, sir.
You understand? It's $10 each class.
Yes, sir.
See you Friday.
Yes, sir.
Friday. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll send it for you. Always. Give you as much money as you want. Don't worry about it. As much money as you want. Okay. Mr. Kim, you ready? Okay. Hi, Shreya. Are you Corey Platter? Or is it Plater? Sir, you're wanted out of Illinois for failure to appear on a burglary charge. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? All right, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you,
Judge.
Mr.
Let's
Plater.
get together. You were completely opposite.
Not, ma'am.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
You sure that you want to do this, ma'am? Are you sure you want to do this?
Do it. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, sir.
What's happening now, ma'am, is you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. And the problem is that once you plead guilty to something, you're stuck with this forever. You can never change. This isn't Target where you can return it because you don't like it. You're stuck with this forever, and you're branded a thief for the rest of your life. Where you try to get a job, you think it's going to be easy. No, it's not necessary. It's no, because people have a very hard time hiring thieves. It's up to you, though. If you want to do this, you're the driver. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So, like I said, once you do this, you were stuck with this forever. There's no buyer's remorse here. I don't know if you have any prior thefts from any other jurisdictions, but if you do, this now makes 2. A third theft, you're looking at a felony offense. Years.
I'm sure I want to do it.
From now on, though, you now have this going on your record. And from now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any type of case you pick up.
Okay.
Do you understand? You still want to do this?
Yeah, yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, man? I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. Good luck to you, man.
Thanks, sir. Don't worry, you don't put 3 days credit for 2.
That way. Hi, Lori. Hey.
Mr. Morales? He is asking for an ankle monitor. Even if.
No.
Even if we do release him, in order to release him to the Harris Center, like you do, you have to do a pretrial.
Yeah, I know.
Pretrial release bond. And even if, when he goes to the Harris Center, he can be, once he gets there, he can leave.
I get it.
So,
but I'm still not going to release him on his own. On his own, it's got to be to the Harris Center. I know what you're saying, and if that's the case, then I'm going to admonish him not to. But
okay,
hey, Gilbert, and he did. Okay, so you were supposed to come back today to bring proof that about your visitation that you have, right? You know, so he's on probation for harassment, right? That's what it is?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the reason we brought you here back today was because it has come to our attention that you've been continuing to harass her, right? And I mean, we have proof of it. So I don't want to have to put you in jail, but I will if I need to. According to the court order, and the only thing that I want is I want to honor the complaining witness wishes. If she's happy, then I'm happy. If she's upset, then I'm upset. And she's upset with you now. She doesn't want to talk to you. No how, no matter, no nothing. No means no. And the problem is that every time you try to FaceTime, you're trying to get into it to where you try to have a conversation with her. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So how can we have a FaceTime with you where you can FaceTime with your child without having her get involved?
Set the phone on like a stand and facing the child and she walks away so she doesn't even have to have it. Put the baby in her room, close the door so the baby's in her room by herself with the phone. She has a timer for the 15 minutes. When the timer goes off, she walks in and she can just straight press the red button and the call.
But in order for that to get set up, you still have to call her phone to do it, right?
We have a co-parenting app that monitors the call logs of everything.
Seconds, I'll call you back. Okay, bye.
See, the judge is in a difficult situation because he has to balance and he wants to help you have, because we're all fathers, Mr. Robinson, and we want you to have contact and be a good dad. But at the same time, he also has to look out for the complaining witness who is saying that, on the other hand, you're creating problems.
I've been in separate houses in that house that can.
Talk to him. He wants to help us come up with this resolution.
If she has her mom or a family member that's in the house, they can do that transaction right there. They're not even doing nothing. It's just accepting the FaceTime call, putting it in front of the child, 15-minute timer, hang up the call. That's all it is. We to absorb her.
I know that you're trying to make it seem easy, but it's not like that, Mr. Robinson, and it's not been happening like that. You try to make it like his little bunnies jumping in the woods, and it's not like that.
My mom does the FaceTime. My mom passed the information about me, of how the child is doing, but I'm not even in the call.
We're trying to really come up with a creative one.
It didn't seem like that would be a problem when I spoke to her. It was just.
So you personally spoke to her? Do you want to see how we can set it up to where he can call, where she don't even get involved, no how, no way? And then we can set up, because the purpose of today's meeting was to set up a transaction where you can have access to the child, because every parent should have access to their own child, but that doesn't mean you also get access to her. So ask how she wants to do it, to where when he calls on the FaceTime time, she's not anywhere near the phone. The child pushes the green button and it speaks. But you are not to ask for her. Don't ask, hey, where's mommy? What's mommy doing? Where's she at? Who's she seeing? Where's she going to? What kind of car is she driving? None of that is relevant to you. Do you understand? I would imagine that probably mom is going to be in close proximity. So we're going to admonish her that if she hears questions like that, we're going to get wind of it. And guess where you go? Right. So we're going to work it to now. I don't want any more issues. You told me that the first time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We will never have this conversation again, Mr. Robinson. You are on notice now. I'm done playing games. In fact, had the DA's office wanted to, they could have filed an additional charge on you. Just so happens that you have Mr. Gravel here, who's just too nice. So, no more games.
Zero
Okay.
tolerance, okay?
Thanks, John.
Because I'm just gonna have.
The next time we meet here, which I hope not, but the next time if we ever meet, you're gonna be wearing orange. All right. That's right. Let's find out what Shatoria says. Yeah, we're no more resets. We will now continue on as if it was gonna go to the end and then hopefully, cool, that's it.
Yeah, well, actually, her, do not leave, and so she talked to John. Okay, now we can, thank you, Judge. Hey, Lori, I see it. I'm gonna put a GPS prior to release, okay? Do you mind bringing up? Okay, go over it with him and then I'm gonna admonish him when he gets out. And let him know, if he doesn't go, if he picks up a new case and he goes to jail, I will bring him out every single day that he's in jail. He will have to get up at 3 a.m. every single day. I'm going to bring him back.
I believe him.
Mr. Baker, come up.
He does have a GPS monitor on his leg for feds right now.
I saw the look that you had coming up. Oh, what did you expect? Let me tell you that with all the charges that you have open and now you've been indicted by a federal grand jury, you're even lucky to be out. With us, you're on probation for a felony offense. You pick up an evading with me, and then you pick up 2 felony offenses upstairs in federal court, and now you've been indicted by a federal grand jury. You're lucky that you're even out. If you think that I'm going to take this stuff off, you're sorely mistaken. With as much drama as you have, no. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public. Because that's the only thing that matters to me. And if that means having you have a little uncomfortable GPS, we reap what we sow. So, I mean, I know that you're going to make it look, it's like little bunnies jumping in the woods.
Oh, okay. So, Your Honor, he's considered, he has psychiatric problems, but the monitor doesn't prevent him from getting his medication for his psychiatric conditions, right? I mean, I know it's home detention, but I think it allows him to.
Home detention is home detention. You can't go out. You're not, Mr. Baker, I want you to be very clear upon what you can and can't do. Home confinement is home confinement. It doesn't mean I have to go grocery shopping or else I'm gonna die because I ain't got no food. No. It doesn't mean that I get to go out because I wanna go to Walgreens and pick this up. No. Home confinement means home confinement. If you need these things, then you must get either a Lyft, an Uber, your best friend, another way. With me, you're under a federal indictment and they've ordered you to home confinement. Do you think a federal judge is going to care about any of that stuff?
That's what they got me going to. They got me going to their federal. They want me to go to see mental health, and they got me going to see a psych. And I can't go because you got me on this monitor. And I can't leave the house.
Under the federal conditions, I have you under home confinement as well.
But they federal conditions.
Yes, and we're gonna send it to the commission.
What did they say?
So the conditions are, I'll read all of them. Defendant will continue to reside at 15116 Mesa Drive. There's a bond. Obtain no passport, travel restriction in Harris County contiguous, avoid all contact with co-defendants, submit a mental health evaluation and or participate in a mental health treatment program. as directed by the U.S. Probation Office, refrain from use of excessive firearms, refrain from excessive use of alcohol, refrain from the use or unlawful possession of narcotic drugs, submit to any alcohol or drug testing as directed by the U.S. Probation Office, participate in a program of inpatient or outpatient substance abuse therapy and counseling as directed by the U.S. Probation Office, participate in an electronic monitoring program directed by the U.S. Probation Office, home detention, GPS monitoring, comply with court obligations of Harris County, so these cases, and then report contact with law enforcement within 72 hours.
So I guess what I need to know is what the schedule is and what it is for the psychiatric and where he needs to go. Let me know, and then I will mirror the conditions from the Fed's case to our case.
Right, thank you.
So if they're directing you, Mr. Baker, if they're directing you to go get that care, I'm okay with that because I want you to get any care that you need. I'm not against it. I'm okay with that. I just don't want you to think that, well, I'm going to go here and then, well, I really got to go do this too. So I'm just going to go this over there as well. You know, I got to go to Walgreens. Oh, you know what? Since I'm already out, I might as well just go to HEB and get this too. It don't work like that. You have a specific destination that you go to. That's where you go to, and then you go home. That's it. And I want you to be aware that that's the way it works. You can't just make a pit stop over there because you really need to go do this too, and I'm already out. I might as well do it. It doesn't work like that. So beware that we have monitors on you so we know where you are at all times. If you need and you ordered to get that, I'm okay with it. Don't make a pit stop.
Okay, let me just ask one more thing. Did the Fed say you can go to church?
No. Go to an online church.
Yeah.
No.
I'll give it.
Thanks. See, that's the way it works. You give an inch, and what do they take, Mr. Baker? Give an inch, what do they take?
Oh,
A mile, Judge.
I just do what you say. You say I can't do it, then I don't do it.
Maybe we'll talk.
Ready for the second hearing? Delgado.
Hey, Brent, who you got, bud?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Stephanie Taylor. Interference with the duties of a public servant.
You just want a normal reset?
Please.
You got it. Oh, no, it's probably.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Is it, must be the day after?
Yeah, it was one of those that you walk in, I believe, and he said.
I have it set for an arraignment, which is weird, Brent, as opposed to non-trial.
Everyone was recalling correctly. We did a walkthrough. You said we did
right. Okay, so we'll just give you a normal reset.
July 8th through the 11th.
Did you hear that?
She said July
8th through the 11th-ish, whatever you want.
Let's go ahead and do the 8th.
Okay.
It's a waived appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
So just keep us in the loop, okay?
Yeah, we're making progress. We've got the videos, but I got a few more things I've got to get, but hopefully we'll have what we need by that next
Brent, I trust you. Whatever you need, you got it.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, bud.
De La Garza on 8, Your Honor.
De La Garza, do you have a lawyer today? No. What are you doing about that? Do you work?
Sometimes.
Sorry?
Sometimes when I get from work.
When's the last time you had a full-time job? It's been what, 5 years since you've had a full-time job? How do you eat? You look like you're perfectly capable to work. Do you have anything that's barring you from working?
Sometimes the way.
What do you really do all day? Nothing?
Look for a job, but where the area where I am is not much work.
What was he doing here? Will you refresh my memory, please, Mr. Del Garza's case?
This is the theft case, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Respondent, Houston, Map Company. When he said he and his wife owns a food truck and he noticed that one of the generators was missing.
I remember this one.
Male stole one of the generators. Defendant caught on the handlebar camera taking the generator.
How do you support yourself, Mr. Del Garza?
Save money a little bit.
So let me ask you, why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you don't do anything all day? How's that fair? Huh?
I'm trying my best.
How?
Looking for a job, but it's hard to be homeless. It's hard to be nowhere to take a shower. It's hard to be nowhere to go back home and eat.
Do you have a drug or alcohol problem?
No.
If you want me to give you a lawyer, I'm gonna make you get a job. I'm now making it a condition of your bond to get full-time employment. If the people of Harris County are gonna pay for a lawyer for you, you're gonna work for it. You understand? And I want proof in 2 weeks of what you've done to get a job. If you have done nothing, it's not gonna go well. You understand? Done. I will give you a lawyer today, but you're back here in 2 weeks to show me what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, I'm telling you, you and I are not gonna be dancing. I have an application already on file, so I'm gonna reach out to the MAC now. I'll have you sign a reset with Ramona. After that, have a seat for me in the jury box, sir.
Oh my God, I was unmuted that whole time. Huh? Guys, who else thinks that he would be fantastic to go dancing with? Come on. That would be awesome.
Your Honor, since we have Luis here, we have a Spanish arraignment, Martinez on page 21.
Got it.
Martinez. Luis.
Please. Please.
He ran out of here so quick earlier. I didn't get it.
Mr. Luis, always Brent, always. Are you Maria Guadalupe Martinez?
¿Es usted?
Sí, sí, señor.
Name, you're charged with assault of a family member.
La cosa de agresión a miembros de familia.
You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you. Okay.
Your Honor, the complainant witness and the defendant are married and have lived together for 6 months. On April 28, 2024, the complainant arrived at his home in Harris County in a friend's car. The defendant exited the house and was mad that the CW had gotten a ride from another person. The defendant then entered the front passenger seat of the car, started a verbal argument with the complainant about complainant's past infidelity. Defendant bit complainant in his right forearm, causing complainant to feel pain and leaving red bite marks. Defendant also scratched CW in the right shoulder, tearing CW's shirt, causing him to feel pain and leaving visible scratch marks.
Rasguños visibles, marcas de rasguños visibles.
Ms. Martinez,
Señora Martínez, ¿pueden fallar que hay causa razonable para continuar adelante con su caso?
Tell me, are you United States
¿Usted es ciudadana americana?
No, señor, soy residente.
No, I'm a resident.
I don't know if you are or
No
not,
sé si usted lo es o no.
but I'm going to tell you
Lo
now.
voy a decir a ustedes de ahora.
Criminal cases you pick up, the higher likelihood you have of that permission being revoked.
sea revocado. ¿Entendió?
Not only that,
No solo eso.
I'm putting conditions on your bond now.
Condiciones sobre su
If I
fianza.
find that you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR
No
bonds.
recibir ninguna otra fianza
And if
personal.
there's any kind of problem with your paperwork
Problema con su
and
papel.
immigration finds you,
Yo en la
they will put a detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration is done with you,
encuentro
which is the better part of 9 months.
hasta unos 9 meses.
You understand?
¿Usted entiende?
Do not violate these conditions. You will not get another warning from me.
Recibir otra advertencia de parte mía.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
I'm entering now what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Bruno Gallegos as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of 7921 Grays Street, Apartment A. If you violate this condition with this court order, the state can file an additional charge of violation of a protective order against you. And that's one of the worst cases you can pick
Uno
up.
de los peores casos que podría obtener.
Until I know
Hasta que yo
that
sepa
he wants to have contact
quiere
with you,
tener contacto con usted.
I'm ordering you not to have contact with him.
Contacto con él. That is fine, sir.
What do you do for a living,
¿Qué
man?
se dedican? ¿Qué trabaja?
Para la limpieza.
Cleaning.
How much money do you
¿Qué
earn a
tanto
month?
dinero ganan por mes? Around $2,000 more or less.
Do you have any children?
¿Tiene hijos?
En México.
En Mexico.
So you don't support anyone
No
here
los
then?
mandan, no mandan.
Sí.
No, pues los apoya, yes.
You support here.
¿Quién apoya aquí? ¿Quién más tiene
Aquí, aquí a nadie.
Here, nobody.
So you can afford a lawyer then?
¿Podría pagar por su propio abogado?
Puedo trabajar por ello.
Let's do this.
Try to work and do it.
Go out,
Hagamos.
see if you're able to do it.
Gracias.
If not, come back and then we can talk.
Vuelva aquí y lo hablamos de nuevo.
Perfecto.
For now,
Por
don't
ahora,
violate these conditions, man.
las condiciones de fianza.
I will have you come up here. Well, first I'm going to have you sign a reset with Ramona. After that, we're going to get all the bond conditions ready. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get them ready. After they're done, we'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go.
Lo firma y se puede ir.
Sí,
Thank
señor.
you. Pasa que le-
Gracias.
Please, man.
Judge, bond conditions?
Yeah, no contact, no weapons, please.
Yes, sir. Follow.
That's to stay away from the home as well.
Well, that's just the lower. Do you have the rip done? Do we know if he wants to have contact with him?
We do not have the rest of that.
Okay. What is your name, sir?
Nicholas Mendoza.
24, Your Honor.
Mr. Mendoza, do you have a lawyer today?
Not right now.
Tell me what you're doing about that.
I'm still doing research and I'm still like collecting money, like getting money,
So you need more time, you'll have a lawyer?
if it's possible.
Yes, we'll give you more time. We'll give you 30 days. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. All right? You know, we were talking with Shatoria how to make this conversation work. Your daughter's 2. 2-year-olds don't know how to sit down in one place and have an intelligent conversation. They can't. 2-year-olds can't sit still for more than 2 seconds. They don't. I've had 4 2-year-olds. They can't even go to the bathroom with it. No. So if you think that you're going to phone call this child and she's going to sit there for 15 minutes and talk to you, it ain't going to happen. You're lucky if you're going to get 3 minutes with a 2-year-old where she's going to sit still. So what we were saying is your mom makes the phone call to the phone number. They answer the phone. They'll put the phone in front of the 2-year-old, but you have to have patience with the 2-year-old. You don't expect that kid to sit there and for 15 minutes to talk to you. It's not going to happen. Be realistic, you know? Don't get mad at mom for her to try to control the child to sit there for 15 minutes. It's just not going to work. When the child gets older, it'll be more so. But at 2, I'm saying you're lucky to get 3 minutes. So you have to also be realistic with this, you know? Let me ask you this. Have you ever been able to try to get in-person visitation?
We take 5 days each with the child. I have her for 5 days, the mom will have her for 5 days.
When does that happen?
I have her today. I give her back to the mom today. She has the beginning of the week. I have a kind of the beginning of the week.
So when did the phone calls take place?
Tuesdays and Fridays for the 2 days that we're not with the child. I'm not gonna be here for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I get to see her, FaceTime her tomorrow, and I get to FaceTime her Friday for that 15 minutes. So I don't see her at all for 5 days, and it's the same thing for her when it's my turn.
Just be patient. It's a 2-year-old. So don't get mad at mom if the 2-year-old gets up and wants to go play with toys. Really, it's not her fault. You know, and what we've seen here, and I'm telling you now, you're lucky that you're even getting contact, because what we see here, so many people are so vicious and just so, they just don't give a rat's behind about the other parent, you know? So really, be patient with the 2-year-old. It's not their fault, it's their too, okay? So with that in mind, your mom has to be the intermediary. She makes the phone call to try to make this thing happen. If mom's not there, it's not gonna happen. The mom doesn't want anything to do with you.
Oh, my mom's gonna do the FaceTime? Okay.
Yeah, because their whole,
I was confused for a second.
it's okay, but their whole family, they don't want anything to do with you. So beware, if you're gonna try to ask her for, I guess, a favor, it's not gonna happen. That's why I'm saying it's gotta be your mom. And then hopefully, if you stay on course for a long time and it works well, time heals all wounds. You know, perhaps with time, your ex will be more amenable to talk to you. But with the harassment, all you're doing is you're pushing her further away. Okay? Get mom, use mom. If mom's not there to do it, you're gonna have to find some kind of backup and let us know so we can contact, what's her name? So we can contact Michaela to let her know mom's not available, but we've got a workaround to help for the phone call. Just she don't want to talk to you. That's it.
I'm trying to get it straight. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're fine.
The 2 FaceTimes that I have for her, it won't be me seeing the child. It'll be my mom.
Your mom will answer the phone and then.
Oh, okay. My mom's gonna take care of that situation.
Right.
When the baby's on the phone, my mom's like, here you go.
Correct.
Okay, now I understand it.
Your mom answers the phone, gets it, and then gives it to you.
Okay. Yes,
so that way you have no contact with Michaela whatsoever.
Yes, sir. And then when I'm done, I say, hey, mom, hang up.
Right. That's it.
Okay.
If mom's not around, it's not going to work.
I was gonna take that.
You're going to have to either find a second person for us to let Michaela know, or it's the phone call's just not going to happen.
I totally understand.
Okay. Any other questions?
So I understand.
I think we're good. Right? Okay.
So how does the transfer work with me?
It's got to be an intermediary as well.
We must do a civil standby. I don't even know, like, she parks here, I'll park here, and the cop walks the child to her. I'm not even in close range.
Well, it's been working, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just keep it up.
She doesn't say I do nothing to her, it's just the technology.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Robinson. Good luck.
This guy looks familiar. Your dream of being released from jail is almost coming to fruition, Mr. Mireles. Don't pee on my leggings, tell me it's raining, Mr. Mireles. I've been this before. You and I've been done this before 15,000 times. Look at me.
I am only releasing you to the Harris Center. I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. I'm going to have you sign this affidavit with me that you are not to cut the leg monitor off and that you will be using it. If you cut this thing off, I will have a contempt hearing so fast you'll think I've made it a new career. Do you understand? We will truly see now, Mr. Mireles, if you really want to participate in this program. I am now giving you the chance. You will never get another one. Do you understand? You know me. I know the way you are. Don't disappoint me how I think that this is going to go, because I already know. I want you to prove me wrong. But if you take off from the Harris Center, so help me, you can't run forever, because everybody around Houston knows you. And I will get you back. And I'm going to make your life HE double hockey sticks. Do you understand me?
Calm down there, Judge.
You will not get another chance.
That's not calm.
Make me proud. I need him to swear to this. People with like anger man. I have a couple people here now that have some serious anger issues that I've been sending them to go to
I do too in my chat. You should see it.
anger management classes, but I don't know what they're doing, whether it works. And
This is Morgan.
hi, nice to meet you.
This is my judge, Fleischer. So do we have any programs that we can refer people to as far as
Anger management classes and any kind of programs.
Not at this time. We don't have any contracts with anyone. I will have to look into that.
I'm curious, like if someone comes to you and they say, hey man, I've got anger issues, I need help. How do you respond? What do you do?
Well, see, since we're in protective board, of course, she mandates all of those classes. So we don't really have much hand in that. However, I can look into some and give you those.
Yeah, I'd be interested because I'm sending people, I don't know what they're doing, right? I don't know whether it's fruitful, if they're learning anything. So, but if I have something.
Yeah, the anger management ones.
If you find something fruitful, will you let me know? You know, you just let me know. She's got my number. You can text me and let me know, and then I'll see what we can do about arranging people to start doing something that's really worthwhile, so that they learn, because that's what we want, you know? And I don't know what they're doing now, whether it's worthwhile or if there's one of those classes that you do online where you just pay $20 and you get a certificate, you know?
That's what they pretty much have right now. For anger management. For anger management, it's just a little online $25 class.
Yeah, that's what scares me, because they're not gaining anything, you know?
Yeah. We talked about it in our meetings, so we might try to see if we can develop something, because I did say that we always, you know, and I said that we had stuff for victims, but we really don't have anything for the defendants or the offenders. So we need to try to see if we can create something for the offenders to see what we can do for them to prevent the behavior. So I brought it up in our last meeting. So we have a meeting today, so we can see what steps we can take to see how we can move forward on that. And I'll let you know, I'll keep you posted for that.
Great. Will you let me know?
Thank you so much. Is Vicky? Vicky's here?
Vicky?
No, she up there. Don't tell her to stop by.
We're having Mr. Graham for a plea in a second, Your Honor.
Sarah War, thank you so much for joining my Patreon. I really, really appreciate it.
There's an off-docket case.
Okay.
Set for May 10. Let's see if I can give you the case number. This one.
Oh, I can find, if he's on docket with one, I got it. I got it right here. No, don't worry. Or which one are we going on?
We're going on the assault and dismiss the harassment.
Got it.
Which one is this?
Timothy Graham.
Good morning, Mr. Graham. So you are charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're also charged with harassment, harassing communication. You worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 4 on the assault, and the offer is to dismiss the harassing communication.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Understand, sir, that this assault will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this.
Yes.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Thank you.
Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
What was plead?
Guilty.
Guilty.
No. It's, are you really guilty of this assault?
Yes, sir.
Did you do it?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? Mr. Graham, did you really assault someone?
Not really like that, but it was.
I don't know. I mean, I understand that I can't take your plea of guilty if you're not guilty.
I'm guilty, sir. I'm guilty.
I'll find you guilty, Mr. Graham. I'll sentence you to the 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 4. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck to you, Mr. Graham.
Hey, bro, John. Bill Brown, apparently we,
Yes, so there was one enhancement that we need to do. That's why. Come on up. I just need to know if it's true or untrue that you had a prior DWI in Norfolk County, Virginia.
Yes, sir, true.
Okay, great. We'll just find the true on that one and we'll abandon the next one. That's it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
that was easy.
Am I
Fix.
good?
Damn, man, when you catch that? Yeah, you know.
My fault for not looking it up. Hi, Kavita. Come on up, sir. How's jail?
Not good.
Really? Kavita, what's his last name again?
West, Ja'Cory West.
We
He
saw
picked up a
him.
BMV out of your court, but he has a.
I think I think I played him on the last one. He's the neck guy. And you guys had so many neck jokes in the chat. Should I just keep playing him again? It's like 6 minutes, or should we end it here? I'm just waiting for one. Yeah, Carolyn remembers the neck jokes. He's here. I'm here. We're here. 6 minutes. I'm just going to press play.
A probation in the 230th or 232nd, and because of that, he's got a hold. But I wanted to address his bond with you, Judge, to see if we can get it lowered from 10,000 and set conditions in the event that he does get a bond set upstairs and can make that bond. From my conversation with him, he told me he won't be able to make a bond, but I just want to make sure that he's not, sitting in there if his family can make a bond.
I ask you, how is jail? Because it must be really fun to wear orange. Really? In 22, you picked up evading in a motor vehicle. You picked up a theft. You picked up a burglar of a motor vehicle with us here in March of this year, actually. That case ended up getting dismissed because you got on 2 felony probations, one for a theft of $2,500 to $30,000. And then you also got on probation for an evading in a motor vehicle. So you're on 2 very serious felony probations. And now you pick up yet another burglary of a motor vehicle. I have no idea what happened on your case. So let's find out. Mr. West. All I know is that you're facing now yet another Class A misdemeanor burglary of a motor vehicle. So, you mind reading us what happened, please?
Yes, Your Honor. On February 29th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officers responded.
I don't know. Oh, I just cut it off at the wrong spot, but hold on. Hold on. I have something at the end of this, so we're going to play it till the end because there's extra.
That's what happens on these cases. What do you think? You live in Montana? You live in Houston, where people like their guns. And when you do that in a car, you're liable to get shot. And you're lucky you didn't get shot. Now, let me ask you, Mr. West, do you think that I should lower your bond? Do you think that I should let you out? That's the right answer. Because you know what? Sometimes we have to save people from themselves because they're their own worst enemy. And that's you, your own worst enemy. Perhaps by here, you're not going to get shot and killed. As it stands now, you're being held at no bond on your felony cases. With me, your bond is set at $10,000. Not even Bambi could convince me to make it lower because I think you are a danger to the public. I truly do, Mr. West. And it's time for you to grow on up before you get shot. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So, Evita, I mean, for now, it's a moot point because he's being held at no bond. But, you know, I got to think that there's only so many times you're going to evade a bullet before it really gets you in the boo-boo. Don't let it get you in the boo-boo. Thanks. Okay.
Look at his smile. Look, I got it.
I got it for you.
Look at
You're the
that
best,
grin.
Evita. Huh?
She's not the best. Right? She works with
Both of you guys are the best. I absolutely love me some Evita. Good morning, Mr. Slider.
How are you, Judge?
So he also said after that, he was laughing. He said, so when he said to that guy, do you think I should lower your bond? And the guy shook his head no. He was right after that. He's like, wow, it's the first time anybody ever said no before. Oh, man. Okay, we did it. We made it through with a few bumps, but that's okay. You know, that's what my channel is all about, apparently. Bumps and bruises. Oh. I feel bad for that dad, though. I'm still riled up about that. I mean, somebody has to protect the daughter. Somebody has to. She's just a little girl. And she should never, ever have to deal with stuff like that. And, you know, we don't know if that woman is Isaiah's mom. But if that woman is Isaiah's mom, she shouldn't be in here crying. You know what we need to do? We need to find out if that guy really was ever in the military and send our clip to his superiors. Did I say that right? Superiors? Oh man, chat is awesome. Chat was awesome again. If you're gonna rewatch this later, make sure you rewatch it with chat because it doesn't put a whole new dimension on it. It puts 1,000 whole new dimensions on this. There's completely a different show going on in chat than what you see. It's just and it's so good. Poor Sarah. in her pretty blue dress. Guys, in chat, we all have to do something. So we're calling Sarah Fozzie a lot, which is cool. But when he finally gets his name fixed, no one call him Fozzie. Everybody always only call him Sarah. Oh no, I've work to do, Kelly. I have work to do before the courts open. I can't. And then courts are about to open in 1 hour. Oh man, I need more time. If you can't read, then I'm gonna see you in one of my videos soon. Alright guys, I will see you in Discord where we have a lot of fun. I'm gonna go see y'all in Discord. It was great hanging out, guys. I love this so much. I will talk to you again soon. Or put a meme up soon. I can't help it. I love memes. I just love them. Alright. See you guys. Behave. Be good. And don't forget to say something good. Like, I hope you're doing good and I want to know what's going good about you. So that we all get to see